All right, so let me know if you guys can hear me. I think they let me come right back in without resetting. So just let me know if everyone is there. They can hear me, see me, all that good stuff. I have no audio. All right, Miss Happy Apple said yes. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, so this happens. I don't know what's up with my software. Sometimes this will happen, where it will just not want to work. And I noticed it as soon as I started talking, and I have like a little meter, a little level, and I didn't see that moving. So like, oh, we don't have audio. So now I had to reset everything and come back in. So like I said, or like I was saying that you guys didn't hear, I'm still on vacation mode, and you guys can see that I'm still on vacation mode because I'm having difficulties. But let me get a little second window here. But I am back from vacation, and I appreciate all you guys who were watching my videos when I was out there. It was difficult to shoot. This is the first time that I've actually, because I try to do daily videos. This was the first time that I, on vacation, tried to keep a schedule when it comes to videos, and so it was difficult. Not something that I'll do again. In the future, when I go on vacation, I'm gonna do the vacation. And I might come in from time to time and do a video, but for the most part, I'm gonna do the vacation because it's hard to do both. It really is, and I wanted to keep you guys up to date when it was coming to the different things that are going on. But it's just not even it's not even possible, especially in Hawaii. Hawaii is tough because Hawaii is 3 hours behind everywhere, or 3 hours behind California Pacific Coast time, and then 6 hours behind East Coast time. So it was really crazy as far as trying to keep up with the stories and everything, and just stocks in general. Just looking at the stock market and things like that, things that I like to do on a daily basis, is tough because I'm looking at the stock market open at 3:30 in the morning, or 3:30 in the morning. So it's really, really crazy. But nonetheless, I am back. And so if you guys can do me a favor, first hit that like button. I'd appreciate that. And then also let me know where you're coming from. So just let me know what state you're coming from. So I saw someone earlier. Let me give her a shout out. I think this is before I even came in. But let's see. I don't see it now. Okay, here we go. All right, I can't find it. Somebody from Texas chimed in, so just let me know where you're coming from, and I'll give you guys a shout out. That was before I had no audio, so but now you guys, hopefully everybody is here and can hear me. Linda, what's going on? Thank you for being here. All right, so today, yes, we are going to do a giveaway. It's going to be, I'm giving away one of my hats. Now, let me grab the hat real quick. All right, let me tell you a story about these hats. So, and let me see if there you go. I can get it on the camera here. But I'm not selling them yet. But I decided to start doing some giveaways and just giving them away during a live stream. And I might even do it for a video in the future, like some future videos. Just do giveaways of these hats before I actually officially start selling them. And the reason that I haven't started selling them yet is because I wanted to see the quality of the hat. So I actually took it on my trip, and if you guys saw any of my videos from the trip, I was wearing this hat pretty much the whole time. But I'm very I don't want to sell bad product. So this is a very, very good product. The quality of this hat is really good, and I was very, very happy with the way the hat held up, I guess you could say. And when I say held up, I take hats everywhere. I'm not trying to be, trying to protect the hat and all that. So I'm just out hiking and doing all kind of stuff with the hat, and it was good. It was good. So I was really, really happy with it. And it even has a little bit of this, I don't even know what you call that, like wicker, or I don't know what you call it. It's not like a normal hat. The normal hats that have they might have the little opening in the back, the little slots. This is a little bit different material. It almost feels like it's like water resistant. But it's good. It's really good. A really good hat. So I will be giving one of those away today, and I haven't decided on how we're going to do the giveaway, but it's going to come down to you guys answering a question. So answering a question in the chat. First person who gets a question in the chat will win this, and I will mail this out to you. Only thing I need from you guys, obviously, is your information. Do not give and I'll remind you guys again, but do not give me the information right now. I'll send you an email, or actually I won't even send you an email. I'll post my email. Of course, you're going to have to confirm that this is your profile. So we'll do that after I send you the email, but just email me, let me know that you were the winner, and I should only have one person. But if I do have multiple people, obviously I'm going to check to make sure that you are who you say you are. So we'll do that at probably about 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. That's when we'll do it. Okay, so let's see. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that have been going on since I was gone, and now that I'm back, we have a big week this week. I will actually be putting out a video right after this live stream. I already shot the video, and I just haven't released it yet. So stay tuned. There'll be a video coming out. I like to give you guys the right information as far as the warning time. So we're going to say 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when I'll post this video. What is that? 11 o'clock for people on the East Coast. So we'll be posting that video, and we're going to talk a little bit about this week. This week is a big week because of the infrastructure bill, the procedural vote. So that's something that's going to be happening. Or at least I say it's going to be happening. At least the majority leader is bringing it to the floor. Now, will it get approved so they can move forward with the debate on this first infrastructure bill? That's what we're going to have to find out. Right now, you do have some politicians that don't want to move forward right away with this infrastructure bill. This bipartisan group is still working out all the details, is basically what we're hearing from some of the politicians that are negotiating. Now, some of the politicians obviously want to move forward with this infrastructure bill. Now, why is this important? You're thinking, well, they already made a deal with the White House so they can move forward with this. What's the big problem? Just give them some time to kind of draft everything. Well, they're up against a deadline, and that deadline is August. August is recess time. And so they know if they can't get this situated and get this on paper and get this approved by August, you're going to have politicians going on break for a whole month, which means when they come back, and let me turn my volume up just a little bit. When they come back in September, then they're going to be focused on budget. Okay, so budget for 2022. And so the infrastructure bill could be delayed even further. So that is the fear right now, and that's why they want to go ahead and move forward as soon as possible. So that's what we're looking at. It's going to be a busy week because we're going to hear stuff, hear different things come out. The pay-fors for this infrastructure bill, that's something else that we're going to hear more about because they've made some changes. Now, you're going to have to watch my video at 8 o'clock because I will give you more information as far as the changes that have been made or the changes that are said to be made when it comes to this infrastructure bill, but the pay-fors are changing a little bit, and that's not good. Really not good. All right, so let me go ahead and give some shout-outs here before we if you guys have questions for me, just give me just put at the TEC show or TEC at TEC, and I'll address those questions. And it's going to be just like the Mondays that we did prior to me going on vacation. It's just going to be pretty much an informal kind of conversation. If you guys have questions that you want to bring forward, just bring it forward, and we'll talk a little bit about it. And then since it's Motivational Monday, we do have a quote, and I will go over that quote, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well, because I think that's important, especially on a Monday, to kind of get motivated for the rest of the week. I happen to be in a job where I'm off on Monday, which is great because it allows me the opportunity to do these live streams and really get my things together for the beginning of the week, which is Tuesday for me. So, all right, let's see. Let's give out some shout outs here. Frederica, thank you for tuning in from Maryland. And let's see. I think it's not working. Okay. Breezy, MZ Breezy, thank you for tuning in from Virginia. And Stacy from New Jersey, thank you for being here. Of course, Miss Happy Apple, thank you for always helping out and being here. I appreciate that. She is the moderator in the room. Let's see. Doris, thank you for being here from Mississippi. Canton, Mississippi. I don't think I've never heard of Canton, Mississippi. But thank you for being here. Sandra, thank you for being here from Texas. And what is it? Shimmy, thank you for being here from New Jersey. Jane from Indiana, thank you for being here. Jimmy from Edinburgh, Texas, thank you for being here. Lily from Georgia. I have to get out to Georgia. You know, I've never been. There are a lot of places that I need to go in the U.S. And anytime I start thinking about travel, I want to go outside of the country. But I am going to have to do like a road trip one of these days and just go to a lot of these different areas of the U.S. I've only been to a handful of places. I've been to upstate New York. I've been to Nevada. I actually went to college out there. I've been to Hawaii. Where else? See, it starts to get. I've been to Florida, but I was only there for one day. That's it. There are a lot of places that I need to travel to in the U.S. Okay. Who else do we have? Terry from Virginia Beach. Thank you for being here. Queen from Dubai. Thank you for showing up from Dubai. Appreciate that. Shannon from Daytona Beach. Thank you for being here. And Rain from New Jersey, or no, I'm sorry, not New Jersey, New York. There's a big difference. Linda from Texas. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member. Terry from Virginia Beach. Celeste from Texas. Thank you for being here. Got a people coming from all over. Appreciate all of you guys being here. And I just lost my screen here. Appreciate all you guys for being here. And I'm telling you, I was very motivated, and I talked a little bit about my whole trip. I was really motivated. I wanted to do live streams from Hawaii, but it just didn't work out. These weren't going to be scheduled live streams. I was just going to kind of do impromptu live streams. But the internet connections that I did not have good internet the whole time that I was there. It was spotty. Some internet was good, some internet was bad. It was just so I didn't have an area where I could just set up and say, okay, I'm going to do a live stream because I have a good signal. It just wasn't working for me. So if you guys are asking about the ticker in the background, that is AMC. You guys, if you don't know, I have some shares of AMC, so I do watch that generally in the morning. And this is kind of my this is my morning routine, and I'm just sharing this with you. So every morning I'll get up, around this time, right before the bell, and I watch the opening bell. And so, and I do this every day, Monday through Friday, but I'm sharing my routine with you. I have my coffee usually, and I'll sit down and I'll take a look at the stock market, not just AMC, but different investments that I have. So now, do you guys have any questions? If you do, just go ahead and post them in the chat and we'll go over some of those questions. I know I have people that have been asking me questions about about the child tax credit, but about tax credits in general. And like I said, I will be posting a video later today at 8 a.m. And I did misspoke yesterday in a video where I was talking about the earned income, I wasn't talking about the earned income tax credit. I was talking about the child tax credit. And I said that you need to earn a wage in order to receive the child tax credit. That is not true. Actually, they made changes to this new child tax credit. So the old child tax credit, you needed to earn at least $2,500 in income in order to qualify for the child tax credit. The old child tax credit. The new child tax credit, they did away with that. So you do not have to show any earned, you don't have to earn any money in that year in order to. So 2021, you don't have to, or actually, this is going to be 2021. So 2021, if you're not employed right now, but you do have children that qualify, then you will still qualify for this child tax credit. So I gave that information saying that you needed to be working, you need to earn a wage, but that is not the correct information. So I just wanted to clear that up. And I cleared up in the video, but I just wanted to say that here. Now, there are people who, and I just see this right here, Alan saying, do you think Social Security will get a raise? Now, there are people that are very, very upset the fact that we have this child tax credit, but there's no assistance for people on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, veterans, also just people who are single and don't have children that fall in that age bracket where they could receive this child tax credit. And so I'm getting a lot of people that are upset with what's going on with the child tax credit. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say be upset with the child tax credit. And the way that politicians work, they're not going to do everything at once. First off, that's just not going to happen. So I think it's actually a good thing that they're doing this child tax credit and they're offering it in monthly payments, because I think in the future we might see something where they roll out these monthly payment options to other areas of, other groups, right? So let's say the single workers that earn the earned income tax credit, they get an earned income tax credit because they are actually working. And this is different. Okay, so we're not talking about the child tax credit. We're talking about the earned income tax credit, which is something that it's basically you can write it off, or not write it off, but you can get this earned income tax credit at the end of every year. It's so in a situation like that, they could do monthly payments. And when it comes to Social Security, a raise, obviously it's a monthly payment, but it's something that the argument is much stronger now for that, for both things that I'm talking about, earned income tax credit as well as the Social Security raise, because you have this child tax credit in place and it's starting to, people are starting to receive money. Obviously, the next question is, well, what about everyone else? And when you start raising that question to politicians, now they're going to have to answer that question. Just like you guys are asking me the question, people are going to be asking politicians that question. And so they're going to have to answer it. And how are they going to answer it? It's very unpopular for you to say, well, we're not going to do anything about it. So politicians they're going to say something, and it'll be interesting to hear what they do say about this. All right. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll address some of those questions. But I did hear about that. As far as as far as the Social Security raise, I did see that posted just right now. We don't have information. We still don't have information about that. And the hope is that we will start hearing something very soon. As far as when I say hearing something, we'll start hearing these politicians have to discuss different things like that, raise for Social Security and other things. Okay, let's see. TC, I'm a single mom with two disabled that receive SSI. Okay. Let's see. Do you have a question for me, Wendy, or are you just making a statement there? What is Thomas saying here? We all need to get a scammer job where we can travel around and make big money. Wow. Okay. I guess that's me. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Let's see. When is Congress on vacation? So Congress, they have their recess in August. So that's when they will be out. You have the majority leader, Chuck Schumer, who could hold the Senate over, and Nancy Pelosi as a speaker, she could hold the House over. So we'll have to see how they move when it comes to that. Okay, so Kim is asking 500. They are saying one time for Social Security. Is that true? Okay, so when it comes to that, and I have heard some people talking about this $500 for Social Security. There's a process. There's a long process. I actually won't say it's not a long process, but politicians make it a long process. And so one politician might bring up something, say, oh, we have $500 for Social Security, one-time payment, and then nothing happens. Why? Because there's no support. Usually what will happen is you'll have a politician come out and they'll be in favor of something, whatever it is. And then you'll start, other politicians will start jumping on that whatever it is, that jumping on the bandwagon, I guess you can say, or just jumping on sponsoring whatever this proposal is. And when you start seeing that, then it will start growing legs and maybe we'll see something. But as of right now, that's just talk. That $500 is just talk. And honestly, I don't see the support there right now. If we start seeing more support, of course, I will start talking about it. I haven't started talking about it yet because I do not want people to get their hopes up and think that something is just around the corner when the support is not giving us that information. Okay, so I like to wait just a little bit when we start hearing different things come out, because a lot of those things, I won't even say some of them, a lot of those things we never see anything. Let's see. Bonnie says you're awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And this, let's go, because I was going to wait a little bit. Actually, I don't know why I'm waiting. I can actually do this right now. Let me pull up my quote. Where is it? Here we go. I had everything queued up, and then when we came in and my audio wasn't there, I lost it all. So let me pull it up. I can pull it up right now. But here is the motivational quote. And it's funny because I start thinking about this after seeing that comment about me being a scammer and all that. And so I just want to show you this quote because this ties in really, really well. Like it was almost planned. But here we go. So the quote of the day for Motivational Monday: stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. So that is the motivational quote of the day. And this is very true when you think about just different things. Like, case in point, I'm here doing a live stream. Someone comes in, they don't have nice things to say. They're being negative, right? And this happens a lot to everyone. And it's a little weird because when you're dealing with your friends, your family, your acquaintances, when you're at work, all this, people usually they're not that mean to your face, right? But something about the internet allows people to feel comfortable enough to just be mean, be negative. And it's one of those things. It doesn't bother me at all because I'm used to it now, because this is kind of the nature of putting yourself out there. When you put yourself out there, you're going to have people who are going to be negative. But it ties in really well with what I wanted to talk about today when it comes to people being negative, when it comes to politicians being negative, because we see a lot of that. And just like the quote from Albert Einstein that I just read, you have a lot of people who, when there's a solution, when someone comes up, let's say a politician comes up with this proposal, the immediate reaction from, if it's a Democrat that comes up with the proposal, the immediate reaction from Republicans is trying to create more problems, right? And let me put the quote back up just so stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. So that problem for every solution, the second that a politician, obviously if a Democrat comes up with a proposal, then a Republican has, they have problems for that solution. And if a Republican comes up with a proposal, then the Democrats have a problem for that solution. And so we see that all the time. And you have to stay away from the negativity. And in your life, stay away from negativity. People who are being negative, you should really try to avoid those people, because all they're doing is trying to bring you down. And if you have an idea, something that you want to move forward with, and you have it's okay to have people. It's okay to have people show concern and ask you about different things when it comes to something that you want to do. But someone that's just being negative, and someone that's just trying to keep you from doing something, you need to get those people out of your life, because that is not going to allow you to move. It's just a hurdle. Okay, these are just roadblocks that people are putting in front of you. And so it was just interesting that, like I said, going through the chat, seeing that, and then, yes, that was the quote that I had. Obviously, I already had it here, and I just pulled it back up. But when it comes down to negativity, you have to move past that. And I think when we're looking at our political dynamics right now, the divide, the great divide that we have in our country, this is something that we also need to focus on, like this whole negative atmosphere. And it's really, really bad right now. It really, really is. And you have people just fighting against each other. And you just saw President Biden was pretty much calling out Facebook as far as the misinformation that is on that platform, or the president is saying that there's negativity on that platform, and it's causing people harm, and even life or death situations as well. And so we need to get past that. We really do. And I just wanted to, I saw this quote from Albert Einstein, and I just like, oh yeah, this is very relevant in our current situation. And stay away from the negativity. Just stay away from it. Just avoid it at all costs. And now I'm very, very in tune to it when I'm, just in my everyday life. Before, I didn't really think too much about, it was always there, right? But I didn't really think about it along those lines. But now I'm very, very in tune to negativity. And when I'm at work, when I'm doing just things, and I have people who are negative, I try to get away from them as soon as I can, because it just hurts. It hurts progress. It really does. All right. Let's see. Janine, you're asking, so can someone amend unemployment tax refund for next year? I'm not sure if I understand exactly what you're asking. So if you could be a little more specific, maybe I can answer that question for you. What are the chances of a forced stimulus? That's Keith asking that. I'm sticking with what I've been saying all along since the third stimulus check. Right now, it doesn't look good. It really doesn't. I always tell people it's highly unlikely that they'll move forward with another fourth stimulus check. The only way that I can see that happening is if we go on another shutdown, which, looking at some of the numbers that are coming out now with this Delta variant and things like that, that could happen as far as go on another shutdown. But I think there's going to have to be a significant shift in order for politicians to move forward with a fourth stimulus check. That's just the way that I see it right now. Now, I think that the American Families Plan will offer some stimulus, okay, not a stimulus check, but some stimulus to help the economy as well as help individuals. But the quote unquote fourth stimulus check, I think at this point it's not anything that's on the table, and it's not anything that's moving forward. So it doesn't mean it won't happen. It just means that right now you don't have support for it, enough support for it to move forward. Let's see. Show meaning if they go back, pay late. Okay, Janine, I'm still not understanding what you're asking me. Yeah, I'm still not understanding, Janine. Sorry. Yvonne saying that single people need some extra money too. Yeah, and that's where I think it will fall in. Like, let's say if you're working, the earned income tax. I just think these tax credits, if they started offering tax credits in a different way, so offering the monthly payments for tax, because that's all that they're doing. The child tax credit, what they're doing is they're doing it kind of like a stimulus check, but they're doing it on a monthly basis. They're advancing the money to you early. That's what they're doing. And so if they start looking at other tax credits, and I still think that the earned income tax credit needs to be beefed up because it's only around $500, $600 right now for a single individual. But if they beefed that up a little bit and then made that an option where you can do monthly payments, I think that would be something that could help a lot of people. But we would not be talking about this child tax credit right now if they didn't do monthly payments, because it would still be a $3,000 child tax credit or a $3,600 child tax credit if your child is 5 years or younger. However, the reason that we're talking about it is because of the monthly payments. Because if it was just a regular child tax credit, no one would talk about it until maybe next year sometime when people are filing their taxes and they're getting this extra money. But now we're talking about it because those monthly payments are going out. Okay. Janice, coming from Virginia, thank you for being here. Okay. And Yvonne saying that she's happy that people are receiving this child tax credit, but single people need help too. And I'm hearing a lot of that. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that exact same thing, that they're happy for the child tax credit, but other people need, other groups need help as well. And I agree. I totally agree with that. Like, other people need help, but the way things are working, and understand this too, this child tax credit, this was in the last stimulus package. Okay, it was approved in the last stimulus package. They just delayed it until July because they wanted to do 6 months of monthly payments and then give you the rest when you file your 2021 taxes. So this was already done. This was done back when people received stimulus checks. So the last round, that $1,400 stimulus check, when people received that, that's when this was approved in that bill. And it just was started in July. So that's the thing there. So when we're looking at it, if you want to look at it that way, when they approved it with stimulus checks, if that makes sense. But they delayed it until July 15th. Okay. Okay, so Janine, so someone got back pay for 2020 unemployment late. Can they amend? Okay, so I'm not going to give you that information because I don't know. That's something that you're going to have to, or that person's going to have to talk to a tax professional. They can contact the IRS to see if they qualify for, to amend that. But that's not something that I am not in a position to give you that information. So that's something that you're going to need to talk to a tax professional about that, or at least have I think it was your friend. I don't know if it was you or your friend. All right. Okay, guys, other questions, go ahead and post them in the chat. Okay, so all my information as far as email, do this right here so you guys can get my email. Okay, so here is, if you do want to email me, Wendy, you can send it here. Now, I get a lot of emails, so just understand that I might not be able to get back to you that fast. If you want a quick response from me, the best way to do, or a quicker response from me. I'm not going to say a quick response. A quicker response. Join our Discord. It's still open. There should be a link in the description, so you can do that, and you can talk to me a lot faster in that. But emails, you have to understand, I get tons of emails from people, and I won't even say people. The vast majority is from just people that are trying to, they want me to promote their products or this and that. And so I get a lot of emails. All right. So I'll try to get back as soon as possible. But the Discord is the easiest way because it's a platform that's outside of email. So I can check it a little. I check it a little more than my email, because when I look at my email, I'm getting hundreds of emails a day. Okay. But I will be checking my email because we will be doing a giveaway at the end of this live stream. So I will be checking it today, that's for sure. Any news or updates on the child tax portal? I need to add my son. It's up. It's available. So just go to the IRS website and you should be able to update information. All right. Other questions, go ahead and post them in the chat. Daniela, yes, I am home. I'm back from Hawaii. Had a great trip. That was a real good time. We might go next year. I might plan another Hawaii trip. Usually we go every other year, but I think next year would be good to go again. So I might talk to the family and see if we can't go back next year. Okay, Miss Happy Apple saying that people are saying that the portal isn't open yet. So the portal, okay, because the portal. Let me see here. Let me give me 1 second. To my knowledge, there were 2 portals that are open. Okay, so just which so you were I think the question was they wanted to know about adding information. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I mean, I'm looking at a portal here. Um, just let us know exactly what you're referring to. I mean, I can show you my screen here. Let's see. Oh, that's behind me. Oh, I got the wrong screen out. Let me flip it over here. Oh, you're not even going to be. Oh no, you can read it. Here we go. Let's see here. But I won't be able to read. Okay, so I'll show you. I just can't navigate because I have it on the screen behind me. So I can't see it when I'm scrolling through it, if that makes sense. I didn't set that up right. But this is a portal that I have right here. I don't know if that's the one that you're referring to. But that's what I'm showing here. Let's see. Let me look in the chat. Do we have anything? Cheryl's saying that she hasn't received any stimulus since it got started. So if you haven't received any stimulus at all, I mean, if you filed taxes, that's something that should have been added. If you didn't receive a stimulus check, it could have been added at that time when you filed your taxes. If you didn't file any taxes, the IRS doesn't have any information, or if they don't have any information for you, then that could be the reason why you didn't receive a stimulus check. So the talk was that they were going to try to track down people that they didn't have information for. Okay. Let's see. Other questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. Peace and respect to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that information, man. Show. Gina's asking about the $500 food. Do you think they will call it stimulus check or not passing anything else check related? Realistically, you can call anything a stimulus check. The child tax credit, you can call a stimulus check. It's helping stimulate the economy. But I think when people think of stimulus check, they're thinking of that $1,200, $1,400, or $600. That they're thinking of those stimulus checks. But all of the stuff that's going on right now is stimulus. They're really trying to stimulate or continue stimulating the economy, just because of where we came from last year. I mean, everything was shut down last year. We needed to kickstart the economy, which I think the economy it's being kickstarted. I mean, I like I said, I was in Hawaii, and it was very busy, very busy. And let me pull this down. I just want to pull my screen back up here. All right, it was very busy, and oh God, what am I doing here? Give me 1 second. Yes, it was very busy in Hawaii, and things were very expensive. And let's talk. I do want to talk a little bit about inflation, because this is something that we're hearing a lot about. Politicians are talking about this. Both sides are talking about this. You just like we were talking about the Albert Einstein, the negative, positive, being negative about things. You do have politicians right now talking about the inflation, and look, this is what happens when you give out stimulus checks, and you give money, all this money out, and now we have inflation. Well, a lot of the inflation that we're seeing right now, the vast majority of the inflation that we're seeing right now, is as a result of supply. There's not enough supply. Oil, there's not enough supply. They're actually going to start, OPEC said that they were going to start releasing some more oil, so that will bring that price down. The used cars, that is the bulk of the inflation that we're talking about right now. The percentage increase coming from used car sales. And this is something that is interesting, because the reason why we have such a big demand, or high demand, for used cars is because they're not able, because of these semiconductors for new cars, they're not able, the supply chain has been interrupted. So they're not able to make new cars at the same rate that they were making them before. And because of that, more people, they want a car, they have some money, they want to buy a car, so they buy a used car, because they don't have the new cars available. And so this stuff it will even out eventually. And the talk is Jerome Powell, Fed chairs, basically saying that he thinks it will be several months, but it will level out. And if it doesn't, Jerome Powell did indicate that there could be a potential where they might raise the interest rate. But what we're looking at right now, the inflation that we're looking at right now, is as a result of a supply bottleneck is what we're looking at. That's what we're seeing right now. So you are going to hear politicians that are going to blame it on the fact that we're stimulating the economy by putting this, stimulus checks and child tax credit and all the different things that are, and usually it's always the individual, right? It's never the money that's going to corporations. You don't hear about that being the problem, even though a lot of money went to businesses, and rightfully so. You had a lot of businesses, especially small business, that really got hurt last year, and so they needed help. And so, I'm not saying that money shouldn't have gone out to businesses. It should have. Money should have gone out to businesses. It should have gone out to individuals as well. Should have gone out to families. I'm for all of that. But you are going to hear politicians that are going to say this is why we're hearing it. Mitch McConnell is saying that this is why we have inflation, because of all this money going out. And it's just sad, because it's just bad information. And it's the solution for all of last year was to help keep our economy afloat. And that is why we needed the stimulus that we received. But now, like we were saying, you have politicians that are looking for a problem for the solution. And the problem is, inflation, that's the result of what we did. So it's a sad situation, but that's what we're seeing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and Wendy's saying that everything is going up. Groceries, yes, that is true. Groceries are going up. Food, I think, increased by 2.4%, something like that. Restaurants, interesting enough, increased by 4.6%. So food increased by, let's just say 3%, and then restaurants increased even more than that, almost 5%. And that's probably due to them not being able to hire as many people back, maybe having to pay them a higher wage. Who knows? But they are a little higher than the. I mean, when you look, I would think food and restaurants should be at about the same increase, right? Because if food gets a little more expensive, they do pass that on to the customer, but they're passing the food on to the customer as well as some other things. So yeah, things are increasing, but you have to look at the overall stuff that is heavily inflated at this point. It's used car sales. I think it was up, 45% or maybe even higher than that, maybe in the 50 percentile. But that's just used car sales is bringing all this other stuff up and making it look like this is just like our economy is getting ready to tank, which I don't think that's the case. Okay. All right, guys. Any other questions? Go ahead and put it in the chat. And we're going to do the giveaway in, what did I say? Oh, wow, I'm late. I said 7 o'clock. It's already 7:11. So we're going to do the giveaway in 2 minutes. So it's 7:13. I have to think of a question. I don't even know what the question is. Let me think. And the giveaway will be for this hat right here. I will be mailing this out to you guys, to the winner. And I think I'm going to start doing this. Now, these doing this every week. But these hats they're not even for sale yet. Okay, so you're going to be one of the first people to receive this hat. So I don't know, what am I going to ask you guys? All right, looking at the comments, but hello from Cleveland, Diane. Hello from Cleveland. Yeah, Wendy's asking about the stuff going on with COVID. I'm not really going to even chime in on that right now. I try to stay away from that. The channel, actually, YouTube will I don't know if they don't promote it as much, but they're trying to be careful. Let's just put it that way. All social media, they're trying to be careful when it comes to talking about these different topics. Because this is a life or death situation, just like President Biden was saying. And if information is given out, some people might take it a certain way. And so I am going to stay away from that. I'll talk about the stimulus stuff. I'll talk about the infrastructure bill and all that. But when it comes to certain topics, you really want to be careful, because you don't want to give out information that is not good, or might lead someone to not get vaccinated or get that whole thing. I want to stay away from. Janine, tube jail with strikes. No, they won't give you strikes. They just won't promote it. So YouTube knows everything that you're saying, because they can, they will do closed caption. So they're able to do the speech to text, I guess you can say. So they know what you're saying, and they don't want to promote things that the information is not coming. Well, I'm just going to leave it at this. From what I've been told, if you talk about certain topics, it doesn't get promoted the same. Is that hat unisex? Yes, it is. It is. All right. What is my question going to be? Oh, that would be way too hard. I'm going to ask it. This is probably going to be a guess for most of you guys, but you probably have to have some familiarity with Hawaii. I stayed in Kauai, but I stayed in a town in Kauai, a city in Kauai. What city was that? I can get someone to and you might need to pull up the map Kauai and maybe just start putting out some different cities, but that is the giveaway question. So if you can answer that, I will, whoever answers that correctly will win this hat. All right, we'll wait. I know this is a hard one, and I mentioned it in a video that I posted when I was in Kauai. So let's see if anyone can get this answer here. Did I ever catch the fake TEC? I've seen you posting something about it. I did not, and we're not going to catch, like, none of us, none of the YouTubers that are out there that have these people that are impersonating. We're not going to be able to catch the people because we don't have, like, basically they're just creating profiles and they continue doing it, and I'm sure it's obviously it's not just one person. There are a variety of different people that are doing the same thing, and so we it's just going to continue happening until YouTube shuts it down. Okay, so I was in Kauai. Okay, so Kauai, it's a city in Kauai, not in Oahu. So your best bet, pull up a map of Kauai and then start looking at some of those different cities and then put that in there. But like I said, I did say it in at least one of the videos that I posted when I was in Hawaii. All right. Anybody? All right. I agree. Wendy agrees. Yeah, and Wendy, just the whole topic. Yeah, you have to be careful. And I really, when it comes, I like to leave certain things to professionals. When it comes to stuff like that, professionals need to weigh in on that. And I'm not one of the, and I have a problem with even politicians talking about doctors, scientists that are trying to get us get us to the right place when it comes to this whole situation that we've been dealing with for the last year and a half. I have a problem when you have politicians coming out trying to speak like they know what they're saying, or trying to discourage people from doing things. I have a problem with that because they're not doctors, they're not scientists. They have a political agenda, and sometimes that hurts other people. No, it's not Princeville, but that is close. Tony says he enjoys the show. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not Lahui, but Lahui is close. Lahui is actually where the airport is. So it is actually close to Lahui as well. She's just going on she's got the map open. Is there anyone else that's going to put anything out there? It's not Hanalei, no. You know, Hanalei was we didn't even get a chance to get out to Hanalei. All right, it's Kapa'a. So you did win AA. So I'm going to send my, I'm going to put my email here. Just go ahead and send me an email. And you're going to have to be able to verify. It's Kapa'a. Kapa'a is the right place. You're going to have to be able to verify that you are who you say you are. So like the YouTube profile, you're going to have to show that. But yeah, Kapa'a. So I've been to Kauai. I believe this was the 6th trip to Kauai, and we always stay in the same place. We always stay in Kapa'a, a nice small little town. It's a little less. It's less touristy. I mean, you have tourists there, but it's less touristy. You have on the south side of the island. That's where you have more of the tourist population by Poipu Beach and area out there. But in Kapa'a, it's very, very laid back. And you have less tourists out there. So we stay out there. Waimea. No, it's not Waimea. But you won a, so congratulations. I will be sending this hat out to you. Just make sure you email me, letting me know your information. She's about to email me right now. All right, that's great. Now we're going to be doing it. I'll be giving out a hat every week, so every Monday. And then eventually I will start selling these hats. But right now, I'm just giving them away. So that's the only way you'll be able to get one. All right. Any other questions? We'll be on for about 5 more minutes. So if you have a question, go ahead and post it in the chat. Looking at the stock market right now, it is not looking good. Not for me, it's not. I can't even pull up. My stuff is it's all messed up right now. I usually have 2 screens so I can look at one screen while the thing's going on behind me, but I can't even do that right now. So I'm not even going to try. But if you do have questions, go ahead and post in the chat and we'll answer a few more questions before we go. And I know there are a lot of people like I talked about earlier that are upset about the fact that you have a child tax credit, but there's no other assistance for other people. I totally understand that. This is something that you're gonna have to let your voice be heard when it comes to that. You're gonna have to talk to politicians, contact them via email, Twitter, send them a letter. I know some YouTubers send out letters to politicians, and that might have an impact. But the greater impact is when you have a lot of people sending a letter to a politician, because you look at it like this: if it's just me sending a letter to a politician, first off, they don't know who I am, and just because I have a YouTube channel doesn't mean that I carry more weight than someone else. And what they really look at is, okay, where does this person live? Do they live in my district? Because if they don't live in my district, they're not voting for me anyway. I'm just telling you how politicians think. But if they get a letter from a person in their district, you better believe they're going to at least look at that letter and say, okay, well, maybe I need to address this at some point. At the very least, send a letter back to them, or at the very least, reach out to them. So that's something that we do see YouTubers do that. They write the letter, they send it, and that's good. That's all good. It all helps. But what helps even more is a letter coming from individuals, especially individuals in their district or in their state. Okay, because you have senators, you have representatives. Representatives, they have a district. Senators, it's the whole state. So if that senator, if Mitch McConnell is getting bombarded with letters from his state, from residents of his state saying we need another stimulus check, could it sway him? Possibly. So just something to think about when it comes to if you are upset about things. That is the best avenue that we have thus far to get a politician to move in the right direction. That is lobbying that politician. That is what corporations do. They lobby politicians, and that's how they get what they want. And plus, they fund campaigns as well. Corporations fund campaigns, and that helps move that needle as well. But that's one of the things you need to think about. Having a letter, and I've had a few people. I think I just read someone posted a comment yesterday on a video that I did. Can you write a letter saying that we need stimulus checks? And like I said, it doesn't hurt, and it might be something that I'll consider in the future. But you really need to contact your representatives in your district and hold them and ask them how they feel about certain things, and tell them why you don't think it's fair that child tax credit went out, but there's nothing else for individuals and people on Social Security and SSI and SSDI. Okay, any other questions? We'll be on a couple more minutes here. All right. Nothing would sway Mitch. Jenny says that. You know what? You're probably right, but it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. And he just won re-election, so he's not even sweating it for another 5 years until he has to think about running again. If he even runs again, I think this is probably be his last hurrah. All right. Any other questions for me? Just let me know, guys. So, like I said, I will be posting a video later today at 8 a.m. I'll get that video out. So make sure you guys 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'll get that video out. Check that video out. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. You have not subscribed to the channel. Subscribe. My subscriber count has really slowed down. And I understand. There's as of right now, we're looking at an infrastructure bill. We're looking at 2 infrastructure bills, and the hope is that this second infrastructure bill will have something for everyone. And so I think things will pick up when it comes to people tuning back in to listen to what's going on when it comes to this American Families Plan, because there will be some human infrastructure in there, some help for people. We just don't know exactly what that is yet. But yeah, if you're watching the channel, subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notified. Anytime there are any updates and stuff like that, I'll make sure to get the information out to you. And like I said earlier, I like to give you information that's solid, give you information that's true and that's accurate. And if it's not accurate, I will come out and tell you, you know what, I made a mistake. Just like I talked about this earlier, where I made a mistake and I gave out information that was not correct, and I will correct that. But I don't want to give you guys false hope. So when there are things that come out from, let's say one politician says, oh, this would be nice, $500 for Social Security, but no one else is supporting it. Is it really news at that time? Because if I put that out there, then guess what? People are going to assume, oh, $500, it's coming, it's on its way, when it doesn't have that support. So if it gains support, then yes, I'm going to start talking about it, or I might mention it, but then tell you, look, at the current time, it doesn't have support, but this is what this politician is talking about. Okay. Oh, Rain is saying that, okay, a savvy YouTuber. I am not savvy when it comes to, let's see, we're saying, not computer savvy, but another YouTuber caught a scammer by their IP address. Yeah, I have no idea how to catch anybody through an IP address or anything like that. But that is interesting. I would love to have a conversation with, and I actually tried to call one, but it didn't go anywhere. The call just went to like a voicemail, because they're not responding to calls. They want you to text them, and then they're going to send you whatever, or try to tell you, oh, you need to do this and do that and buy Bitcoin and all this stuff. That's what they would do. All right, guys. Any other questions? One more minute, and then we're going to take off. So any questions? Thank you guys all for being here. I really appreciate it. And we're going to start doing these every Monday again. So stay tuned for that. And I'm working on a few things right now. I'm making this very, very informal, where it's just like a Q&A. We did a giveaway. We talked about a few different things. But in the future, I might have a better format where I have strict things that we talk about. I haven't decided if I want to do that yet. I kind of just like just informal, where it's just me talking to you guys, asking you questions, and answering some of the questions that you might have. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and take off. Thank you guys all for being here. And stay tuned for that video that I'll be posting. And that's all I have for you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.